today we'll be making a chicken broth. Now, a chicken broth is a highly nutrient-dense food. It's basically a kick-ass, cheap version of a superfood. It is up there with all the other superfoods. It is absolutely amazing for any digestive issues, your immune system. It's also great for your joints, your skin, your hair and your nails, especially if you make it the way that I show you today. So you will need a big stock pot. You'll need a fine mesh strainer like this, and also a scum strainer, or you can use a spoon instead. The reason I am using such a big stock pot is because I like to make around 7 to 8 liters every time, and then I put it into containers. I freeze it for whenever I'm going to use it, and I use it for many things. I use it for slow cooking, for all my soups. I use it for curries, or even as a snack or an entree. Now sometimes I just heat something up and I put it in a thermo. I take it with me when I'm going in the car. So today we're going to do a large batch, but if you don't have a big stock pot like this, you can do it just half. You just got to half the ingredients in the recipe. So let's have a look at the bones. I've got 4 carcasses here. Now you can collect your own bones from when you do a roast, a chicken roast, or you can go to the butcher and buy the bones. This is what I've done. This is what I've gotten from my butcher. These are organic carcasses, and I would recommend that you either use organic or at least free range. So you pop the carcasses into the pot. And I'm then going to add some chicken feet. So I'm going to put in around 10 chicken feet. I know they don't look very appetizing, but it is going to make or break the broth, because it's in the joints of the animal that you get all the ligaments and all the tendons, and that's what makes the broth so gelatinous, and that's where you get all the collagen that's so good for your joints and your hair and skin. So I'll pop them in there, just spread them around. All I need to do now is put in some filtered water. I'm just going to put enough water in there to cover the bones. I've now covered the bones with filtered water, and I will now add half a cup of apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is going to help extract all the minerals and the nutrients from the bones. So that goes in there. Put the lid on, and I'm going to leave it to stand for anywhere between half an hour to 45 minutes. Okay, it's just been standing here for about 45 minutes. It's now ready to get heated up. So what I normally do is I put it on a medium heat. I don't want to heat it up too quickly, so it might take a little while for it to actually come to a boil. So I put it on medium. I'll leave it until it starts boiling, and then I'll turn it down immediately to a simmer. Well, the soup is now just come to a boil, so I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm now going to use this strainer to get the scum off. You just kind of slide it over the surface, and you just rinse it under running water. And I just keep doing this until all the scum has come off. You de-scum, is that even a word? In the beginning until it's almost clear, and then you can do it whenever you're checking on the stock. But don't worry about it too much, because you are going to strain the whole broth through a strainer at the end as well. So now that I've de-scummed the broth, I'm going to add the remaining of the ingredients. I don't add the vegetables until after I've gotten all the scum off, because they get in the way of de-scumming. So I've got a few celery pieces that I'm going to chuck in there. You don't have to be pedantic about it. You can put the leaves, everything in there. I've got a few carrots, and I've got a big onion. So I'll pop that in there. And I'm going to add some peppercorn, about 1 teaspoon. I don't add salt until after because I like to use the salt for tasting it according to whatever dish I'm making. So I do not put the salt in. I put in 5 bay leaves. Got all that in there. Just put the lid on. Leave it at a low heat to simmer, and you can leave it for anywhere between 8 to 12 hours. Okay, so my broth has now been simmering away for 12 hours, and I've also had it cool down for about 4 hours. I'm now going to get all the bones and the vegetables out of it and store it. So I am using my fine mesh strainer. I've got some bags, I've double or triple bagged. So you just get as much as you can into the strainer and you lift it up, and then it goes into your bag. It might be a bit messy, but it's not too bad. Okay, I might see what else I've got in there. A little bit more stuff. I think it's almost it. I think that's it. Okay. Now once I've gotten all the bones out of there, I'm now going to strain it again and put it into my containers. So I have some glass containers and I've got a plastic container. If you do use plastic containers, make sure the broth is completely cold before you put it in there. If you're using glass, the ones I have here are quite sturdy, they don't break in the freezer. I do know that some of them do, so if you want to avoid that and make sure that you avoid it, you do that by not filling them up all the way. You put them into the fridge first and then you put them in the freezer and they shouldn't break. Just put it in there and then you just put it through the strainer. There's actually nothing in there because I've gotten most of it out. Now if you're using the soup straight away, you just do the same thing, strain it into a smaller pot, and then you can straight away make another soup, maybe a chicken soup, add some chicken and vegetables, or if you want to just add vegetables and have a vegetable soup. So there it is. This is my beautiful chicken broth, and as I mentioned in the beginning, I use it for all my cooking. I use it for curries, soups, slow cooking, as an entree, as a snack. If I'm not feeling 100%, I keep drinking it until I feel 100%. Now this will store in the fridge for 3 to 5 days, and it will store in the freezer for several months. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to share it with some of your friends or your family, please do. If you have any more tips, I'd love to hear from you. You can put them below. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.